Wait! Chat! Stop it! Come on, bro.
Does it mean you still will be forever alone, Jankos?
No, I'm not alone. I think Caps ships me and Mickey. Because every time I make a joke about me and Mickey, he is like really happy. So I feel like Caps ships it. But I don't think Mickey ships it. I think Mickey is giving up on life slowly because of me. So maybe I need to like tune it down a little bit so he becomes happy again and then I can just fucking all in. What do I need to do for a Graves game? You promised one last stream. I mean, nothing really. I feel like Graves is always fine to play. When to take Phase Rush for Olaf? So the reason why I played Phase Rush in the game is because I was playing as Orianna Lilia and I don't really need Conquer to win skirmishes, but thanks to Phase Rush I can always catch up to these champs. So the thought process was that, you know, I will just be better in skirmishes early against these champs. Of course in the long run, Conquer is gonna be better for team fights, but if you snowball early game it doesn't really matter that much. And when I picked Phase Rush, I was like, because I like Conquer Ghost the most, Conquer Ghost combo. But when I played Phase Rush, I was like, hey guys, listen to me. Guys, shh, quiet now. This was our game plan, okay? When we were talking game plan, I was like, shh, quiet, guys, shh, listen. So the game plan is, I play with Phase Rush, and I know it's a little bit it, guys, but I'm so excited. And yeah, so that was my game plan, you know. So basically, I was really hyped to play Phase Rush because I wanted to like run very fast. And I was running a lot actually. Maybe a little bit too fast and too forward at some points. But, you know, since I was very ahead, it didn't matter. Finch, thank you. I mean, I was just testing the limits, but not really testing limits, if that makes sense, you know? Because I was going too far forward, but at the same time, I mean, you know, when they got Nashor, that was not good. In my defense, I mean, you know, if I can make any excuses, if you allow me to, the call was Lilia has no flash. So, you know, Orianna can't really outsmite me. But Lilia and Orianna ult is a little bit trickier to outsmite, right? Because you have to smite between the Lilia smite and the Orianna ult. Because what will happen is that they will flash in and they will smite. And at the same time as he's about to smite... I mean, basically, how stealing Nash works in these situations is... The same with any mage. If you have burst, when you call a steal, what will happen is... Enemy jungle will smite as soon as the ability is about to come true. So when Orianna ult is about to come true, the Lilia will smite so that the Orianna ult can steal it. We will see. Chisovic, thank you for 2 months. Rubin, thank you for 6 months. Play Vi. So if I were to play Vi in the game we just played, right? You know what would happen? I would basically press my ult on someone, let's say Aphelios, and he would get knocked up for about a second. And after the second that he would get knocked up in, I would die. Because I would dive into Aphelios and Seraphine. And it's not like I kick him into my team. I would just knock him out for 1 second and I would just die. So I don't really think Vi is a very useful champion. So I will not play Vi. Actually, it's quite interesting that people like Vi, because I also don't find her very entertaining to play. Is Vi entertaining to play? I don't think so. Well, Never Golem on G2, guys. Sage, thank you for 51 months. Crook and Sleeping Fox, GG's, thank you for 3 months. T3DZ, thank you for gifting us up to Lord Meep. Meepo. I feel offended as a Vi main. You know, I think every champ can be entertaining if you really wish for it, right? If you really feel like some champ is entertaining, it can be. But I'm thinking Lee Sin, you know, in the game we just played, I think Lethality Lee Sin made a lot of sense because they actually had a lot of squishes. I think that Lethality Lee Sin is only good when they have a lot of squishes because otherwise you just don't kill anyone, right? Imagine I'm playing Lethality Lee Sin against, let's say, a Graves, not a Nidalee. Because Nidalee is like low-key squishy with, I guess she has a Night Harvester which gives her HP and she also has a Zonya. But like she's kind of squishier than Graves, right? Because Graves can even go Immortal Shield Bow and he will just never die to me. And then they have Aatrox, which is I guess slightly tanky. But Ryze and Seraphine and Affiliates are all squishy. I mean, Seraphine should be squishier than, like, I don't know, you know, Alistar or something. There's an Electro build on Vi which deals a lot of damage, and with your Q, I think it is pretty fun. Yeah. I mean, if you get fed on any champion and you actually, you know, one-tap others, it's always fun. So that enables her. Why is Udyr being played in competitive all of a sudden? So Udyr gives you a very strong early game. Because the thing is that consider all the meta junglers, right? All the meta junglers are bad at ganking. Because they don't have any CC. I mean, Talia is good at ganking, but Talia needs a setup, and Talia is banned every game. Then there is Olaf. Olaf is not so good at ganking, but Olaf is just OP champ. But he's not really good at ganking. Then there's also Pantheon, which is also banned every game, and, you know, Pantheon is actually good at ganking. But then there's Udyr. So Udyr is a tank that farms very fast. Which is not common in this meta. Because, you know, all the tanks are garbage and they don't farm at all. So Udyr farming fast is really fucking good. He actually farms faster than, like, probably any other jungler right now. Maybe Lilia could farm faster, maybe. But Lilia and Udyr are kind of same speed. And Lilia is one of the fastest junglers in the game. And then he's also a tank and he has good early game. He does get outscaled. So if his team is not ahead, he will most likely end up being, you know, not so strong after a few levels. But in the early game, he puts a lot of pressure, and Turbo Chem Tank got buffed this patch. Because the cost is decreased, and even though it gives you less magic resist, it's still worth, right? You pay way less for an item that gives you really good engage and ganking potential with the Turbo Chem Tank, right? 2,800 gold, and you can actually gank and you can be fast. So, yeah. I think also because of Turbo Chem Tank buffs, he got slightly stronger this patch. What about Sejuani? I mean, Sejuani is like low-key viable, but, you know, Sejuani is a tank that has to perma-farm if she does want to fall behind. And it's not like she's super OP in skirmishes. Maybe if you play stuff like Sejuani, Yone. Like, if you would like to see Sejuani, Yone from G2, that could happen at some point, you know. Turbo Chem Tank Olaf? No, because you need damage. On Olaf you need damage. You know why Olaf is so OP? Because Olaf core stats is CDR, HP, and damage, right? Right? So then when you think about it, what Olaf used to build in last year was either Warrior, or Cinderhulk, or Black Cleaver. These were the three first items on Olaf, right? So Gordrinker has all of three of them combined with extra Mythic active, which is really fucking OP. Gordrinker is basically Black Cleaver combined with Cinderhulk, combined with Warrior, and insane Mythic active. And this is why Olaf became busted, because all his core stats are so good, like on this item, and the item makes him so strong. And that's why they cannot nerf only the item, they also have to nerf the champion, because the champion is so strong with the item, even without the active being, you know, super broken. Like, you get so much AD, so your ult is OP. You have good clear with the whip, you know. You have HP, you become tankier, and you also get CDR, which is, you know, CDR on Olaf, like, if you want to have some fun, you know, you could build some CDR. It's not bad, right? You can Q more. At some point it's useless though, because if you pick up your axe, you can perma Q, but, you know, I think you need like about 40 ability haste, then you can perma Q. And, you know, EWR, like, in solo queue, CDR is a good stat because you fight a lot. In competitive, you know, there's less fights, right? It's the same thing as Gale Force. Like, Gale Force, in my opinion, was one of the most broken items on 11.0 or 1. Basically before Gale Force nerfs. Gale Force was 60 seconds cooldown, so you could use it every 60 seconds. And it was so ultra broken in solo queue because of the damage and the dash, in my opinion. But then they nerfed it. And now it's 90. So in competitive, it doesn't matter because you don't fight every 90 seconds. You can still use it to poke and do plays, but competitive games are normally tend to be slightly slower, so you don't really get your mythic item as fast as you do in solo queue, so you don't really snowball as hard as you could in solo queue. So then the Gale Force is slightly weaker. But it's still good, because 90 seconds, so it's still the same active. It's just less value than in solo queue. But for example, Immortal Shield Bow is getting buffed next patch, right? And Immortal Shield Bow, in my opinion, is already like pretty good. If you play against, you know, dive comps and you play like you wanna survive. And it's getting buffed and you get free stats. It's gonna be same cost, but you get like 10% attack speed and 5 AD, or maybe even more. It's fucking nice, you know. It's a fucking nice item. And Kraken Slayer is just a meme. I mean, you know, some players build Kraken Slayer because AD carries 1 more damage, because, you know, tanks are too tanky. Fucking baby rage, but... Hey Jankos, I was just wondering what is more likely, you going deathless in solo queue or G2 winning early game? I think at this point we may not have hope to win our early game, and maybe we don't have hope to actually go deathless in solo queue. Jacob, thank you. No, we don't want Rogue to lose. We don't want Rogue to lose. We want Rogue to go deathless, undefeated until week 4. And week 4 we play Rogue, and then we can make them defeated, that's no problem. But we need Rogue to go deathless, undefeated until then. Why is no Senna with Kraken Slayer and Rageblade good? Because they buffed Senna Kraken Slayer interaction. You can pro Kraken Slayer with auto Q, I think. Because you attack 3 times. How do you attack 3 times? You attack once, you pull the soul, and you also proc the Kraken Slayer because you pull the soul and attack once. Like, pulling the soul and attacking, I think, is like a double proc, I think. So you proc it very fast. It's actually a lot of damage. Like, Senna is actually strong as fuck right now, I think. With this build, you know? Like, I don't know the exact numbers, but if you go to practice tool and you test it, you will see what I mean. Hey Jankos, did you see this Polish dude competing in G2 Jersey yesterday? What are your thoughts about that? So I don't know, like he was competing jumping or something, or was it running? Well, all I know is that it's pretty cool that people, you know, are fans, I guess, in sports. He's a Polish person. I'm not really big into sports, so I don't know the person, but you know, of course, it's pretty cool that he supports the org and he has G2 jersey. Maybe G2 in the future can go into sport as well, not only, you know, computer games. And then we can sponsor people like that, or Carlos can. After my time will be long gone. Viego is actually broken in team fights. He can't be hit. Yeah, I think Viego is. I think Viego passive is ultra fucking OP and so insanely annoying to play against. You know, why is the camera so far away? Because you are supposed to see the screen behind me, the TV.